what's up everybody, hope you all are having an amazing day. Welcome to ArtsyAniket. I am Aniket and as you can tell this is my first ever voiceover video and I hope you all like it. Also I'd really appreciate if you all stick till the end of the video as it really helps me get going. So let's get started. So to begin with, I start off by drawing a horizontal line in the middle of the paper and then writing the word Naruto over it. And as you can see, I'm using a pencil first because I'm quite comfortable with it. And then I'll go with my 0.5 mm fine liner and outline the whole text, as you can see over in the video. Nice and clean. And then I draw a vertical line in the middle of the paper somewhere near the R, and then I put on some guidelines. First thing I see that the R can be the Konoha symbol, so I move on to draw it first. What I'm planning to do is use the word Naruto to make the headband and the hair strands of the character. So that will make it quite simple. So as you can see, I'm doing the same. Then I go on to make a box which is not quite square and not close to a rectangle but somewhere in between. Then I go on to make the hair strands of the character by hiding the words with the details. The first hair strand goes near the alphabet A, the second one goes near the alphabet T, and the other one close to it, not quite far. So I'll just cover all the alphabets with the hair strands, as you can see in the video. Then I go on with some refining in the hair strands as I feel quite comfortable with the iterative process. You know, the more iterations you make, the more perfect it gets. So don't quite get settled with the first iteration of your work. The more you make it, so if you're not quite satisfied with the first iteration, you can go on with creating multiple copies of it until you get satisfied. So that's all what I do. So then I'm focusing on the N, alphabet N, by making another hair strand, as you can see. Then I go on with drawing the side hairs of his face, using the box as a reference of his face. The more guidelines you put in, the more symmetrical it will get. And then I move on to draw the face. So I'm quite sure that I won't be satisfied with the first iteration of this face, and I'll go and go with some parts. As you can see, I just scribble and scribble over it. I want to make the ears of Naruto, and as you can see, the character has pretty big ears, and the character I am drawing, the version of Naruto I am drawing is the teen Naruto in his early age. So as you can see, the more guidelines you put in, the more perfect it will get. Now I'm moving on to the neck hairs, as you can see. So I'm quite opting for a symmetrical look in this one, and I want to keep it really simple. Just not going with a lot of perfections, but keeping it similar to the character. Now as soon as the neck completes, I move on to draw his dogi or his costume or his uniform, whatever you like to call it. I don't know the official term for it. If you know it, please mention in the comments below. And yes, as I told you, it's a teen Naruto, so his costume might differ a bit from the current version. He has this fluffy stuff around his neck. So I move on to draw the same. So I pick the shoulders quite symmetrical, but I'm not quite happy with it. So I'll just iterate the process. And then I'll move on to drawing the hairs by drawing a rough guideline for the hairs, like for how long or how tall they will be. And then I build the hair base around it. As you can see in the video. So I'm not quite happy with the look, so I think I'll just go with some more details, and then I move on to refine the sketch, as you can see. So then I move on by drawing the eyes. So Naruto has these big eyes which really needs to pop out. So all that I'll consider in the coloring part, while I expect that I'll color it quite nicely. So the eyes need to be symmetrical and the look needs to be perfect. So I'm just trying to do the same. So now move on to drawing the nose. So I wasn't quite happy with the eye I made, so I just went over it again. Next thing I do is drawing the eyeballs, as you can see. So they aren't quite similar yet, but I like to do the most of the detailing parts in the fine lining part and the inking part. So I move to make those facial marks. That's the facial marks on Naruto's face, which quite defines the character. Then I move on to make the mouth or the lip part. He has these wide lips. Yes. Then I move on to some refining, as you can see. So in this part I am just refining the hairs and everything that will define the character further even more and make it look closer to the one in the anime. And I am fine lining the part, as you can see. This is the part where it all gets, clear, and I get a very much clear picture of what I am drawing. So the fine liner I am using is 0.5 mm fine liner. The details are mentioned in the description box below. Then I move on to draw the eyebrows, eyes, and the facial marks, as you can see. There's nothing much to explain over here, just the old school outlining part with a bit more details. The next part will be, I'll just color this piece so that it looks more detailed and the alphabet that I have put in there gets hidden. So once I am quite happy with the outlines, I erase the pencil lines and then I'll just move on with the coloring. Then I move on with the coloring by using a pastel yellow TouchFive marker. These are great alternatives to the Copic marker. If you can afford the Copic markers, these are really great and the output is quite awesome. So as you can see, I'm putting in the light parts first, then I move on with the darker shades. So I'm putting in the lighter parts where the light will first hit, and continuing the scene throughout the hair part. Then I move on with the marigold shade. I don't know the exact name for the Copic alternative, but yeah, that's pretty much it. And then I'll add the darker shades of the hairs. As you can see, it gets more detailed and more shaded as it goes on. Then I move on to add another darker shade, which is a vermilion shade, which really adds the depth to the hairs and makes them pop out. So I continue with the process by adding those really bold lines of vermilion. So I'll mention the color names also in the description, so if you want to have the same, you can have them. Then I move on with the headband by adding some cool grays to it, adding some darker shades to make it really look pop out. And as you can see, the word has been hidden quite well. The alphabets are not visible, and all of those details are really making it look good. Then I move on with the headband color and the skin tones. The skin tone I am using is fruit pink and then I guess a salmon pink over it for the darker shades, which makes it really look pop out. So it is important to notice the shading here. As you can see, the light is coming from the front side of the camera, I'm assuming that. Then I move on with the eyeballs color, which is quite in between the green and the pink, and then I move on to his doogie, which is a bit orange and somewhere in between the orangish red shade. Then I color that fluffy part with a warm grey, the lightest shade, and a shade darker to it. So as you can see, every time I put in the light shades first, then I go on with the darker parts. A lot of people do the reverse of it, but it's quite similar, the output is quite same, so it doesn't matter. You can select your way. Then I move on with a cool grey, a darker shade of it, to do the rest of the coloring. Then I add some fine details in the eyes by adding the white lights and the shades. It makes it really look realistic a bit than in the anime. So the goal here was to totally camouflage the word Naruto using the character itself and not focusing quite on the realistic and the accuracy. Here it is the final version, so I'll add some warm greys in the background for a shadowy look. Then I'll put the water buff over there. And as you can see people, this is the finished look, and no one can tell if the Naruto word was overwritten here or not. I know it's not quite accurate, but let's quite deal with it. It looks quite similar to the anime version. So yeah, that's all it. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care.